They say the bots are coming for the pen, but we're the ones who taught them what to say. We're riding the new wave, not going under, finding our voice in the digital thunder. We've seen the dawn of 1,000 tomorrows. Still got fire, still
Hey, it's Jessica. Welcome back to Riding the New Wave, Writing AI for Authors Over 50. If you've been following along, you know that I spent 3 years stuck on a book I couldn't finish. Today, I'm telling you what finally broke me out of that. So let's get into it. A year ago, I was staring at a half-finished manuscript that had been haunting me for 3 years. Wild Reckoning, Bobby's Story, the book I dedicated to a friend who died, and then I couldn't figure out how to finish. I tried everything. I outlined it a dozen different ways. I rewrote the first half, then the second half. I stared at plot holes that I couldn't solve. Nothing worked. I felt like a complete failure. And then, out of pure desperation, I did something I've never done before. I opened ChatGPT, which I'd barely ever used for anything, and dumped my entire manuscript into it. All 30,000 words, the half-finished mess of a book. And I asked, can you help me figure out what to do with this book? I really didn't expect much. Maybe some generic plot suggestions or maybe nothing useful at all. What I got back actually surprised me. The prose was better than I expected. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't publishable as is. I had to do a lot of work to it, but it was way better than I thought AI could do. And it got me out of the writer's block that I'd been stuck in for 3 years because I couldn't figure out how to move the story or where it needed to go. So I thought, oh my God, here's my ghostwriter. It's not a replacement. I wasn't thinking it was going to write anything for me or anything like that. I just needed something to help me get unstuck that could help me put words on a page that then I could edit and like expand and do something with. So it was almost like when I was working with my ghostwriter, the human one whose her first language wasn't English. So I'd have to rewrite everything she gave me anyway, except that this was faster and I didn't have to pay by the word. So I spent about a month working with ChatGPT, editing what it gave me. I rewrote sections, I added my voice back in, fixing the parts that felt really generic or wrong. And at the end of the month, I had a finished book after 3 years. So the book that had taken me 3 years to not finish was finally done. And I almost didn't believe it. So here's what I realized in that process, or what I learned. AI didn't write my book. It helped me write my book. And that's a big difference. Every word, it still went through my filter, my judgment, my sense of what felt right for Bobby's story, for Cassidy's voice, for the emotional beats that needed to land for the book. ChatGPT gave me the first draft. I gave it the soul. And that realization changed everything. These tools don't do anything without me. They're not magic. They're not going to write the book while you sleep. But they can help you get past the parts where you're stuck. They can put words on the page when you're staring at a blank screen, and they can give you options when you've run out of ideas. And then you, with your decades of knowledge of how stories work and how characters talk and how emotions feel and how humans are, you make it yours. AI is a tool. It is not a replacement. Would I trust a GPS to plan my route? Yes, I would. Would I let it drive the car? No, I wouldn't. Mostly because I usually know a better way than the GPS was going to take me anyway. I don't want to hit all the lights, so I go around. But I know the route. I already know. And I know how long it's going to take me to get there based on what GPS has just told me the time is going to be. So it's the same thing. You're using a tool to get you from point A to point B. Once I figured out how to work with AI on the writing, I started experimenting with everything else. And one of the things that really excited me was discovering that I could create cover art. So let me tell you why this matters. For Wild Country Hearts, one of my earlier books, I spent forever, and I do mean forever, hours, looking for the perfect cover model. I I looked everywhere. I think Adobe Stock Photos was one place. I think Deposit Photos was another. I have memberships and tokens or whatever to get as many pictures as I could. And I finally found the perfect cover model. He was a cowboy. He looked awesome. He looked exactly the way that I wanted him to look. I tweaked him. I removed the background. I put him on a farm with horses and some other stuff that I had put together. And I made him and that cover my own, put my logos and everything on it. And I was pretty happy with that. And I got everything out, all the marketing, everything was done. And then I saw the same freaking cover model on like 60 other books. So it really, really pissed me off. And I'm like, okay, I spent all this time looking for the right model, looking for the right cover, and everybody else apparently decided that he was the right guy for them too. And I mean, on the one hand, it kind of validated what I saw, but on the other hand, everybody had him. So it didn't make him original to my covers in my books, in my series. So I thought, okay, well, how can I change things so that my cover models, I don't see them on every other freaking cover? And that's where AI came in again as a tool to help me to get an exclusive cover model that was just going to be for my books. So AI created the cover model for Wild Reckoning, which was completely mine. Nobody else is going to have that exact same image, that exact face, or that exact vibe. I used Canva because I always use Canva, which added the AI image generation tools while I had been on my author hiatus. I experimented. I generated different options. I tweaked them until I got what I wanted. I used Canva and Ideogram were my two go-tos at that point. And suddenly, haha, I had my own custom cover model. No more strolling stock photo sites for days and hours and wasting so much freaking time. It was a huge relief. So that's when I realized the tools aren't just helping me finish books. They're opening possibilities that I had never had before. I could create covers. I could generate marketing images. I could build graphic for social media, and all of the things that I used to pay other people to do or spend days searching for, I could now do myself. I was excited in a way that I haven't been about this business for years. Thanks for listening to Riding the New Wave, Writing with AI Over 50. Here's the thing. You're not too old to learn this. You're not behind. You're not missing the wave. You're right on time. Join us in the AI for Authors Over 40 Facebook group if you want to ride this wave with people who get it. And if this episode helped you, share it with another author who's ready to stop waiting and start writing. I'll see you next week with more tools for authors who are done making excuses. Keep writing.